Pat McAfee slams ESPN following the WWE Disney deal. Plus, we have more details on future plans for WWE and ESPN. And we have an update on Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and their future plans. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Yesterday, you and I sat here, Ross, and we announced that WWE and Disney are in Mickey Mouse's clubhouse together. Exactly.
That was Mickey Mouse there.
I thought that was Crash Bandicoot. That's Mario. That's Charles Martin.
Everyone knows Mickey Mouse's famous laugh.
It's cheap as cherries. That famous line from Mickey Mouse. Pat McAfee put out a comment discussing the new deal, congratulating WWE, but in doing so, ground an axe, shall we say.
Yeah, he says, great to see two powerhouses of sports and entertainment come together. I assume all the mid-level, powerless, bum-ass suits at ESPN will attempt to muddy this somehow out of context, leaks / ignorant anonymous opinions, etc. But in the end, this agreement will outlive these dinosaurs currently got on the desks in Bristol, and this deal will be great for ESPN. Cheers to the future. He's got heat with someone, Tom.
I saw guarding desks in Bristol, and I thought, what, like over down south in the West Country?
You wanted to negotiate my combine harvester, do you? That's Irish. I can't do accents.
That's Irish. So this is a little bit of heat that Pat McAfee has with ESPN. In particular, executive Norby Williamson, who took who Pat accuses of attempting to bring his show into disrepute, to sabotage his show by leaking negative information and false viewership numbers to the media outlets, looking to undermine the success of the Pat McAfee show. And it is a runaway success. And so that kind of comes to the fore here. Interesting I don't know whether that says a lot about the situation that WWE and Pat McAfee are in. Pat's always been his own guy.
Yeah.
But Pat has always kind of been also one to kind of toe the line when it comes to WWE stuff.
Yeah.
I think the only time recently that I felt that was the case was when Hulk Hogan made his final appearance on Netflix, and then it was on the Pat McAfee show where they were just taking the piss out of it, where nobody else had said anything. I thought, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's with this massive deal going on for a guy so involved in the company, who was a regular on Monday Night Raw, to start calling out people in the higher ups of ESPN, I thought was a choice.
I was going to say, but in Pat McAfee's shoes, he has got that choice, hasn't he? If they go, oh, well, Pat, you can't appear on ESPN because you said disparaging things about the people who run the thing or whatever, he's going to go, oh, well, I'll just go and do my other thing that makes me millions every single year.
Yeah, he certainly does have a bargaining chip there. Now, for more details on plans for WWE and ESPN came to light during an investors call last night.
Yeah, Mark Shapiro said they went with the Disney deal because they wanted to tap into the ESPN audience, as some of the WPLEs will now be shown on linear ESPN TV as well as streamed. It was also suggested that the first hour or so could be simulcast, both before moving to the streaming side.
And I think that's a big one for them, because they said on this investors call that there were other offers on the table for the rights to WWE, but they went with this one because of the potential that they have here to have it on linear telly, as we said yesterday, normal telly, to have WWE there and part of that lineup once again. This kind of suggests that, and a few people that commented on this yesterday in our video said that, does this mean that is at the end of blood in wrestling matches? Does this take us to like a safer era once again in wrestling? And I don't know whether it does. I feel that when you're, obviously WWE, I think will forever try and market towards a certain audience. They want to make as much money as possible because they like money. But I think that they would very much be keen to still present a product like they have done over the last couple of years.
Surely they know what they're signing up for, ESPN, Disney, whoever's involved in the deal. They'll know that blood sometimes does become involved in the wrestling, so surely there would be a caveat in there. Maybe not every week, but we don't see it every week anyway, do we? Just
no.
On special occasions. Gunter.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I quite like that as a prospect. You know, I think with AEW, they seem to do blood a lot more than WWE do. And I think doing it sparingly makes it mean more. So I'm hoping that certainly won't change. I can't see that changing. They also revealed in this investors call that 5 WWE documentaries, 6 NXT PLEs, and the WWE archives are not included in the ESPN deal, which were part of the Peacock deal. WWE now have chance, according to the team there, to take that elsewhere and monetize it as well.
Fantastic. My thoughts are with fans in America right now who should really get to the NordVPN link for Cultaholic, by the way. Just say you live in the UK and then just get it all on Netflix, you'll be fine. Because
unrelated,
you've got to have cable for SmackDown. Is it Netflix for Raw? You got to have something else for NXT. You got to have something else for pay-per-views. Potentially now something else for the archives. What are you meant to do? It's going to cost like $100 a month just to watch wrestling.
It just seems
crazy.
It seems, and that is if the archive ends up somewhere.
Yeah.
I'd be devastated if we lost that archive in its entirety. Well, I mean, over here in the UK, we're lucky enough that we've got the Netflix deal, so that means that's not changing. By the way, I think there was some confusion yesterday as well when we talked about the Disney rights deal. It doesn't affect international deals. So if you're living in the UK and you're watching us in the UK, it's business as normal for us. We just keep on keeping on. But hashtag blessed. NordVPN. But it means in America it's going to be all over the place, and it potentially means they're losing the archive. Now Netflix in the UK has the archive on it, almost complete. But I just think it's such a great resource to have. And man, what halcyon days where for $9.99 you just had access to absolutely everything all of the time.
They used to say back then, you'd be a clever boy to pay $9.99, you'd be a bleeding idiot to pay any more. And now here we are, well, you've got to pay more.
Here we are being bleeding idiots to pay even more. You called it. Whether in terms of where they take it as well. It's WWE have made it very clear that they're looking for the big boys in these arguments.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a deal with Netflix, you've got a deal with Disney. Like, they're not going to settle for any rando streaming platform to put this on. This has got to be some big money deal.
Pornhub.
I love that.
That's where the VPN comes in, isn't it?
I just popped onto Pornhub to watch Shawn Michaels Undertaker Hell in a Cell 97, and then you know, maybe something else. Well, I won't say what, just in case they're watching. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes are both involved in the Street Fighter live action movie. And what does this mean for their schedule? Because we had Cody Rhodes, who's now, once again, the WWE champion. No longer undisputed WWE champion, just WWE champion. And that's right, because there are two champions. And Roman Reigns, who had his shoes stolen again on Monday Night Raw. What does this mean?
Just wear flip-flops, that's what that means. But yeah, Peter Insider Leo reporting and speaking with Hollywood sources, the Street Fighter film does not begin production until September, and Reigns is slated to work for 4 weeks on the set, starting on the 2nd of September. As long as the production runs on time, we are told that Reigns will finish his commitments the week of the 26th of September. So there's still some time for Reigns to make additional appearances if the creative dictates before he is needed for filming. Cody Rhodes also has a role in the film, but we're told he's not expected to be on the set as long as Reigns.
So Reigns is going to be on set for most of September, pretty much all of September. So Cody not as long, so maybe Cody will miss maybe 2 weeks of telly, I would say.
Yeah.
And I think you can do without the WWE champion for 2 weeks.
And then maybe that's why the Bron Brons lost at SummerSlam. Because you would assume if the Bron Brons won at SummerSlam, then Roman Reigns would have to chase them both down to beat them one-on-one maybe. And now that they've just won, he doesn't have to be on TV as much.
I think you need Roman Reigns back at least once more, just because otherwise the last shot we have of Roman Reigns is him losing his shoes.
Twice.
And I love the fact that after Raw went off the air, Roman Reigns stands up, takes a couple of steps, and then looks down and goes, "Ah," because you wouldn't notice that you'd lost your shoes. "Ah, who took my shoes,
Feels
Ma?"
a bit breezy down there. What the hell?
Oh, my toes are moving more than normal, and I can't feel the inside of my shoe. It's because I'm not wearing my shoe. Yeah, imagine if he just disappears at this point. Like, he can't show his face because he hasn't got any shoes.
It is a very good thing to do to someone. Imagine like beating them down so much. You just take their shoes.
It feels so juvenile. I love it.
Yeah.
I want, like, for the next 3 or 4 weeks before he goes away, just every time Roman gets beaten up, he gets his shoes nicked. Or maybe one week they just steal one.
And then we get like this vignette from Bronson Reed's house where he's just got like the shoe room. Just Roman Reigns' shoes just all over the shop.
Remember that Sting promo from the last Night Show where he's in a room full of bats that are hanging from the... Surprise! I want that, but with shoes.
And Cilla Black, as he said, surprise.
And Cilla Black there as well. That would be a WTF moment for me. But you can get SummerSlam WTF moments on the Patreon right now. patreon.com/Cultaholic. Waiting for you all 2 days in one easy-to-eat video, as well as every WTF moment from the past. How many videos are there? 21?
I think in November, every Saturday night's main event in PLE for AEW and WWE since November. So however many there's been. I think there's 21 now.
Hop on our Patreon, and there's plenty in there. There's also a punishment coming up this weekend.
There is. How are you feeling today? We shot yesterday afternoon. Tom?
I feel appalling. I feel appalling.
Feeling hot. That's all we'll say.
It might be one of the more miserable days I've had here.
It can't be nice for you, and don't eat your tea when you're watching it. That's all I'll say.
I wouldn't. I certainly haven't. For the very late, I'll be on the Patreon this weekend, all being well. And then for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.